It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielsen, Matt Cassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
Episode 19 of Two Guys and a Goalie, presented to you by Oddshark. It's Dustin Nielsen, it's Joaquin Gage, it's Matt Cassian. We're streaming live on Facebook. Of course, you can download this basically anywhere you can get your podcast as well. And if you download it, make sure you give us an excellent rating. Hernan Salas is with us as well. And man, we've taken another step in the live streaming biz. We've got our Oddshark mugs. Wow. Thank you very much to the presenting sponsor of Oddshark. We're drinking warm beverages in these today. And we need it because it's chilly down here in the dungeon today. So it's a little cold.
Wow, look at... Oh, my gosh.
What?
I was going to mention something like teabag.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
I know. Cass is teabagging over there.
You were... I thought you said you were going to be more well-behaved on this podcast.
I got to stop. Stop it, Joaquin.
Two Guys and a Goalie podcast presented to you by Oddshark. Check them out at oddshark.com. We've got lots to get to today. Also, you'll see sitting on the table, I mean, obviously not if you're just listening to the podcast, but Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen has dropped off a ton of chicken today, including the ghost pepper wings, because we wanted to do the ghost pepper wing trivia.
Well, not only did they drop off ghost pepper wings, they dropped off triple ghost pepper wings, which you can't even get those. Like, you can't get them.
No.
Like, the ghost pepper is hot. It's kind of like pretty hefty burn. The triple ones, I mean, that's...
They also gave us doubles, but we put the triples out here.
We put the triples out. That's going to hurt.
I'm not a big spicy hot food guy, so I don't know how this is. I'm nervous right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm...
So you think you'll just be fine, you just crush those no problem and move about your day?
Gage likes his chicken spicy.
Really?
Yeah.
What about you, Cass? Where you come out on?
I like spicy, but not like burning face spicy. I like tasty spicy. And
This might be close.
This might be close. We're going to see the triple. I mean, the single hot ones, like the normal ghost ones, you get at Popeyes, those are good. Like, that's like for me, like, that's a good level of spicy. Love those. A little nervous about how hot these are going to be.
Well, just to go back to the tea bagging thing, Cass wasn't actually, he's drinking tea. So not people that aren't watching, he wasn't actually tea bagging anyone.
It's funny. We just kind of assumed, you're like, Cass is tea bagging over there. We're just like, let's continue with the podcast.
Okay.
I'm glad you clarified what was going on there.
Yeah.
Look it up, I guess. No, don't look it up.
No, don't look it up.
No, sorry, don't look it up. Sorry, that was a bad suggestion.
Well, it's a horrible suggestion.
I was just thinking, if people don't know what we're talking about, look it up. But
no, if then they just assumed it was like normal tea and it wasn't an issue.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Perverts.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, happy Monday, guys. How was the weekend? Was it a solid weekend?
Solid weekend.
Yeah? You took it easy?
Took it real easy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like, didn't move from the house easy?
No, got some stuff done around the house, and that was it.
Cash, you went and saw, what was it?
Disney on Ice.
Disney on Ice.
Yeah, I took the girls.
God, how are they for skaters? Pretty good skaters, probably.
I mean, you watch it just knowing how bad I was at skating, and then seeing them, you're just like, wow.
These guys can really
skate.
Yeah.
My wife was on Disney on Ice.
What?
2 years, yeah. She traveled.
No way.
Yeah.
So was she like a princess or an ogre or what? Like
ugly stepsister. But she was. She really was. She was the evil one all the time.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So did they do like a full story? Like,
oh yeah.
Well, this one was like a full story, but it was like it was like a walk through all the princesses.
Okay.
Basically, they had like other ones in there too, but it was good. It was good.
Hey, did they have Maid Marian at all?
No, I was disappointed.
She's our favorite.
No Robin Hood.
Like to see her at Disney on Ice. That would be great. All right, so we're gonna do the ghost pepper. We'll do that in a little bit. We'll get to the ghost pepper trivia. Hernan, you've got how many questions do you have?
I have 5 right now. I'm thinking of a few.
Yeah,
others.
maybe we'll think of a couple more.
Some softball questions also. Gager has a chance. Right?
Popeyes brought I don't know. They must have brought 6 dozen wings. So we've got a lot of stuff to get to today. We will play Sport Clip Haircuts, Keep It or Clip It, home of the MVP experience. We got a bunch of questions for that. We'll get to a little bit later on here as well. We'll have your Popeyes chicken poll question. Lots to get to, actually. It's pretty busy. I want to start with this because I don't think it's been getting enough love online. Do you see Keith Yandle lost 9 teeth?
And came back?
Good for him.
Yeah, and then played the next day as well. Like, take a day off, man. You lost 9 teeth.
I like when guys wear that bubble the next day, and they just look like they're in so much pain, and they just.
But they're out there.
I know they look so uncomfortable just for the Ironman. He's close now to breaking it.
Well, I think that's why he wants to keep grinding it out. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like 19th. I think he lost him in the first period Saturday, missed the second period, came back out with the bubble on in the third, and played again on Sunday.
I won't talk poorly about Yandle anymore.
No,
I never talk poorly about him.
Oh,
Did you?
I thought he was a little bit of a peach at some.
What do you
point.
mean by peach?
Just like
Soft?
bruisey.
Yeah, Iron Man.
Yeah, no,
he's
I
the guy's got an Iron Man.
I thought I was just from here. I thought he played soft for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, he's not. He's a skilled defenseman.
Yeah.
He's not like a hard hitting guy. He's always been a skilled defenseman.
Yeah.
but with that being said, as far as the peach soft or whatever, and he's not because he played with 19th. Like, don't you kind of have to stay out of the trenches if you're going to play for 600 straight games? Like Phil Kessel had an Iron Man streak going. You know what I mean? Like,
well, but
I think there comes
Cogliano had an Iron Man streak going, and he wasn't a guy that like.
Yeah.
But that was because of a suspension. That was
that was greasy.
brutal.
Remember, he lost his on a suspension,
and it wasn't a good suspension.
No, it was a
from what I
questionable.
remember.
Well, it was like a little bit of a late hit up high.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
I guess it is.
once again, soft. But yeah. Cash, did you lose any teeth getting punched in the face for a living?
Nope.
Not one?
Nope. The only
You must
thing I
have been a
had
really
go
good
wrong with
fighter.
my teeth was I broke a filling, and that was flossing. There must have been I don't know, maybe I did something to it, and if the piece of the floss got stuck in it, and I was like, well, this floss is really stuck, and then so
Yanked it out.
yanked it out and went, and a piece of the filling broke.
This is the exact reason I don't floss for scary situations like that. It's good. I go into actually I'm due for a dentist appointment. Anyway, I go in there and it's like somebody's cut my mouth apart when she's doing the flossing. And it's just disgusting. It's just dripping.
Blood
She's
everywhere.
like, and I lied to her, of course. She goes, "Do you floss every day?" I'm like, "Yeah, I swear to God, I don't know what's happening here." It's not a good look. It's not a good. I can't believe you lost a filling.
Well, I didn't even lose the whole filling. I mean, they had to take it out and put a new one in because it broke.
Yeah.
So then it was it hurt.
I can't believe you didn't lose a tooth fight.
Yeah, never.
Huh.
Nothing chipped, nothing.
Gage, you just sat there back in the net quietly with a helmet on.
No, actually, I've lost 2 teeth in the worst ways possible. Hockey, back in the day, the Oilers training camp, tough guys would do something really stupid, so no one else went near them the rest of training camp.
Well, I mean, is that stupid or is that smart?
It's stupid when you're the subject of the person doing what he did, so no one else would touch him. I went to stop the puck behind the net, came back, and I saw Kelly Buckberger coming around the corner, and I was like, oh, he could do something dumb here because it's the start of camp. He elbowed me right in the face coming around and knocked, it was a crown, but knocked it out, and the post came right through my lip. So I lost that one. And then I was sitting. It was in St. Louis. I was sitting on the edge of the bench, and a guy went to dump it in, and I was the last guy. And all you saw was everyone's head go tick 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 tick, boom, right in the face. Chip this tooth.
Really?
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, I got elbowed, and no one wanted to catch the puck coming into the bench.
You lost a tooth sitting on the bench as a backup.
Yes, in St. Louis.
That sounds great. I like it. That's excellent. All right, a few things to get to around the National Hockey League. The Edmonton Oilers are still first place after first place in the division, almost first place in the league, but after a huge they lose to Los Angeles, and then they bounce back with back-to-back wins and a wild game against the Golden Knights, and then almost your kind of typical road game against the Coyotes, hang around, get one in the third, and then win it in a shootout. But Gage, your thoughts on what the Oilers managed to do throughout the weekend, coming off a loss against the Kings?
It was amazing to see that kind of resolve throughout the games with Edmonton compared to years past. It would seem like you were just waiting for the inevitable. Watching the games now, I have so much more optimism with them coming out with the victory. Even when they were down against the Kings, I was like, there still might be a chance to come back. I really like the fact that their bounce back games are excellent. You still get worried about losing points to the bottom feeders of the division and stuff like that. But the way that they're playing against teams that are really good is it's awesome. And that game against just to be down late against the Coyotes and to come back and win in a shootout and on the second of a back-to-back, that's the sign that's a sign of a really good team, I think.
I've been so hesitant to be like, man, this is a different group.
I know.
But,
We're
but they do it this weekend, those 2 games, and I'm like, wow, maybe they are. Cass, you do pre and post on TSN Radio here in town. Like, is your opinion changed here after what you've seen
From the
recently?
start of the season?
Yeah, well, yeah, but even like in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
You know what? What has changed for me is when they have a stinker, they play a good game the next game.
Yeah.
That's been...
They've done that 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and because it always felt at the start of the season, it always felt like, they play a bad game and like, okay, this is it. Now they're gonna struggle. Now they're gonna struggle. Now we're gonna see what they really are. But it hasn't been. We're well into the season now, and they don't lose 2 or 3 in a row. Like, they're not stringing together losses, and they're not stringing together bad games. And that is the sign, Gager, as you said, of a good team. And so it's like, well, you know what? They're legit. I still don't know. Are they a team that's going to win the division?
But you see them as a legit
Don't
playoff
know, but
team
I see them as a legit playoff team, which I didn't at the start. I thought heading into this season, they're going to be battling for a wild card spot, like in and out, like jockeying for position, maybe get it, maybe not, like right in that spot. And I guess they still could potentially end up there, but this looks like a playoff team. And if we're going on history and statistics, they most likely will be.
It's crazy.
I know.
It
is, yeah.
I was at the beginning of the year when I was looking at predictions, the one thing that stood out with me is that when Dave Tippett has gone somewhere, that first year, the team he's got them into the playoffs. And that was the one thing where I was like, I wonder if he can do it here in Edmonton as well. And I didn't believe it. I just didn't believe it. I know they'd made some changes in the offseason. I thought, we'll see what ends up happening there, but it's been pretty impressive so far.
It's such a mark for a good team to that rebound game and not let one game trickle into 2, 3, 4 like we've seen in the past. For them to come out after the stinker in LA and play a really solid game again, that's...
Like the Habs right now have lost 4 in a row. We'll get to that a little bit later on, keep your clip it. But, and the Flames went and lost. Leafs lost 6 in a row, cost the coach. Calgary lost 5 in a row. They recently pumped the brakes on that. So, they just haven't gone through that stretch yet. Leon Draisaitl played 4 minutes and 10 seconds of overtime against the Coyotes. They called a timeout. Tippett called a timeout after the first 65 seconds or so. McDavid and Draisaitl stayed out there. Then they brought out Bear, Nurse, and Gagne for about 40 seconds. And then it was the big line back out there for the rest of the overtime session. You're just shaking your head, Cass.
That's nuts.
It's nuts, but like, is it wrong or like...
They won the game. I know it was in a shootout, but how can you say it was wrong when they won the game? That being said...
But it's unheard of.
Yeah, Draisaitl just takes a slap shot, sort of slap shot, on his shootout chance because he's probably so tired he can barely lift his arms. He's like, I can't move side to side right now.
I'm going to get right to about the hash marks, and that's literally all I have left
in the tank. They win the game. I wouldn't advise doing it often. That's a lot of minutes. I mean, he played 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Draisaitl did.
Yeah.
30 minutes, which is nuts. That's nuts for a forward.
It's nuts for a defenseman. It's unheard of for a forward.
Yeah,
right?
like you think of how many, like if we tracked, and I know they're starting to do this, but like tracked like how many feet or whatever he skated. I would be really interested to see like how far he traveled in that 30 minutes.
Because they're working on all that.
Yeah, they're working on that. They already
know.
have it. I think they're just working on how to display it and making sure it's tracking properly and all that.
Do you think he knew like after 2 games in a row they get a mandatory day off, like the Monday's off, so he knew that they had a whole day to recover and stuff like that.
So just go.
He just let him. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about is the amount of minutes these guys are logging at this time of year.
Those 2 guys, and that's it.
Yeah, I'd like to see the minutes spread out a little bit more, just because it's only start of December here. There's a long way to go here, but that's the only thing but it's so hard not to have them out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you put them out there in overtime and you have a pretty good shot at
There's
winning.
a good chance they could have the puck for the whole 5 minutes anyway. So
where do you come out on the slap shot in the shootout, Gager, as a goalie? Is that an easy one, or
it's one of the best moves ever?
Just shoot it right out my pads?
Let a clapper go. It's great. I'd hate to be in net doing it because if a guy rings it, it's usually going to hit you in the shoulder or something like that. Or if I'm not trying, Cass is going to hit me in the shoulder.
But I expect you to try. That's the thing. It's like I expect you to move.
Maybe
and try,
I'm working on my eye movement.
Maybe
tracking,
head tracking.
Cash, you know how your coach told you one time that you would have eventually had a shot in the shootout? Would you have slapped it?
Yeah.
You would
Absolutely.
Why?
No, I probably would have tried to go 5-hole.
Oh, like
Move
with
it, pull it, go 5-hole. Yeah.
Yeah, slide it in there.
No, like pull it, start because I'm a lefty. Like start pulling it across.
Okay.
And then, shoot on the way. Yeah.
Oh,
5-hole.
okay.
That was my go-to.
For your rec league, just show shot mostly, because as soon as a guy has the puck in front of him, you know you're going to be able to pick that up. You can freeze the goalie more if you if you show shot and then go into. That's why that move that Gagne does is so good, because he shows shot a few times, I think, in that whole thing.
But then he drags it like 4 times after that. Like,
But showing shot just to get that goalie to freeze and then continue with your.
That's good to know, because I'm going to start playing rec league again next month.
Yeah, I played yesterday actually.
How bad was it?
Oh, I was bad.
Not invited back?
No, I'll get invited back. I'm a confidence builder.
I was gonna say, like, didn't have anyone in the press box.
Yeah,
no one to impress.
It was funny.
Or in the wives' lounge.
You know what was out there? That Eric. Oh,
Don't bring that up again.
Eric Christensen. Was it Eric?
Oh, Crusher, was he out there?
Yeah, he's a good player.
He is so skilled.
Yeah,
so skilled.
He's ridiculous.
Old Crusher.
Wow, he was good.
He torched you, or were we on his team?
No, I stoned him. But it was fun. I heard some real funny stories about his dad. His
dad's a skill coach.
Yeah, he's a skill coach.
Yeah.
His dad's a skill coach. Yeah.
You can't tell the story?
Well, he told
was Crusher telling his stories?
No. My other friend, he's a surgeon. His son plays at Blair St. Martin. He's a surgeon, and Hunter St. Martin goes to the Okanagan Hockey School, and he goes out there with Christensen every couple weeks for skill training, and I guess a lot of shooting stuff. But kids, they want the special stick, and I guess Hunter had a bit more of a toe curve on there and an upshoot or whatever, and it was hooked. And I guess from the story, he said, Hunter, do you know what a hooker is? Like referring to the stick. And Hunter was like, I guess, yeah. He goes, they're a good idea at the time, but not after a while. Change that curve on your stick. So that's what he was. I thought it was kind of funny to be telling a 14-year-old kid, do you know what a hooker is? But
and it's a pretty accurate description.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, that's good. Okay, hey, one more in the Oilers that I wanted to get to. Then we're going to play some Ghost Pepper Wing trivia, and then we'll get to some other stuff. They're off to a much better start, I think, than most of us could have imagined. Cass, do you think Ken Holland needs to give him a bump, like third line center, or like there's still some needs. There's needs on most teams in the National Hockey League. So this one's not a lot different, but like we saw Nugent Hopkins didn't play on Sunday, and they had to basically go from Gagne being healthy scratch to put him in as a second line center because they really don't have anybody else to bump up the lineup. So Ken Holland's a veteran guy. He's been there before. He would have a good sense for this. Do you think it's something that you might see? Or do you just let this group ride it out?
Let it ride it out. Like, he could do it. I think he most likely is going to let it ride out. And the reason being that you came into this season, you always expect a lot, but you didn't expect much. You wanted to see what you have with the group. You want to see, not make too many changes, make a couple. I don't think you want to go and break the bank to try to bring in a third line center. Mm-hmm. Just going to be too expensive. I don't think it makes sense. Unless the price is absolutely right, why would you do so? Because that still isn't the huge issue on this team. Not that it seems like they've mitigated some of the issues, especially on defense. But
yeah.
Are you going to use those resources better elsewhere? Because you're going to have a lot of money from a cap standpoint next season, or more than you do now, and it doesn't make sense. I don't think so.
Also, did you say money?
Money.
Yeah,
cash
I felt
money.
like you were trying to say money, but then stopped partway through, and you said money. But you're like money. Gage, what do you think for that team? Just leave it how it is. Like,
yeah, no,
I was just curious. Like, I wonder if at some point he's like, you know what, we might be able to take a run at this year.
I mean, even with the bottom scoring, like we're getting some goals from other sources now. I mean, how many goals are we going to score in a game? Jeez.
Yeah, you only need
score
so many.
much.
Like, come on,
Yeah,
you don't want to make things too easy on Smith and Koskinen. That would be ridiculous. All right, let's dive in here.
Ooh, boy.
Thank you to Popeyes, and of course, once again, thank you to Oddshark for providing us with these beautiful mugs here on the live.
Do we have to leave these here? Probably. Huh?
Yeah, they're for the studio.
Shoot.
You know what? You ask politely. I'm sure they'll send you some more. So Popeyes, and we'll get to our Popeye. You know what? Yeah, bring out the Popeyes poll question as well. We might as well do that right now as we're talking about who's the best team in the National Hockey League right now. That's our Popeyes chicken poll question today. Bruins, Capitals, Islanders, Blues, or Oilers? What do you got? Who you going with?
I think I'm gonna go with the Caps on this one. Just I lots of experience. You can't count them out. I like Holtby as a goalie. He looked really good the other night. I watched that game. Who were they playing? Vancouver. It was a solid game, but they lost in the shootout there. But I'd go with the Caps.
Cass?
I am absolutely going with the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, they look good.
They look real good. They got a ton of offensive punch. They got a ton of offensive depth, and defensively, it's Chara's team still, but you got a lot of young guys that can really play. Like McAvoy's a player. Krug's coming off an injury. He's a player. DeBrusk is up front. Like you have a lot of really, really good young players on that team. Balance that out with a lot of older players that can still play. Like
they're going to be a tough out.
Yeah. And they play nasty too. So I think they're the best team in the team to beat right now.
Yeah, I was going to say Boston as well. Part of me wants to say Washington because the Islanders had points in 16 straight and they still haven't caught the Capitals. Like that's how good the Capitals are this year, that they too are just absolutely dominating. All right, Hernan. So how this is going to work, we've got the triple ghost pepper wings from Popeyes.
Oh, those are brown.
Come
Those
on.
look nasty.
Come
like
on.
nasty is like good, but like nasty is like spicy nasty.
So Hernan's going to ask a question.
'Kay.
And then if you get it right, you get to dish the wing out to somebody. If you get it wrong, like if you just yell out an answer and get it wrong, you have to eat the wing. Okay?
Are you asking us individually, or are we all at once?
Ooh.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's up to you, Hernan. You're the host of the game.
You know what? First one with the correct answer. Just kind of yell it out, and we'll go like that. And then, I think that's the best way.
Oh, boy. All right.
Are you
Let's do
guys
it.
ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
First question, and we're going to go to the CFL. The Bombers won their first Grey Cup in 29 years. Yesterday, as they beat the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Their last Grey Cup was in 1990. Who did they beat in that game?
90.
Eskimos.
Correct. Ding, 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 ding.
All right. Football guy.
Of course, the football guy. That's garbage.
That
was a garbage
brutal.
question.
That was terrible.
Toss up for Dustin.
All right. Gager, you go first. You go first, Gager.
Really?
Yeah, you go first.
All right.
This is triple ghost pepper. You can't
Triple
even get these at
ghost.
Popeyes.
They're like,
That. Oh. What? Oh, you don't mess around.
Wow.
How's that, buddy? Gager put the entire thing in his mouth and sucked that bone dry.
I'm just gonna look. I'm just like,
I don't know yet.
I'll be having like one little bite on the edge. That was a boss move, Gage. Jeez. A little hot?
Getting there.
It's getting there. You took too big a bite. We have to wait for you to stop chewing, or else we're going to get the next question right, and we're going to give you another one.
yeah, let's go.
All right.
All right, here we go. Good job.
Right. And again, these are all softball questions. We want to get everybody involved here. Keith Urban rocked the Grey Cup last night at halftime. You know, Ryan Rishaug was a big fan of it as well. Who is playing the Super Bowl halftime show this year?
Oh,
this
man.
is horrible.
How do we not know this off the top of our head?
I just heard that too.
Oh, I can't remember if this was last year or this year. Maroon 5.
That was
Wrong.
yeah. Go
You're
for
gonna
it.
have to eat one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who was it? Who is playing Super Bowl?
It's J-Lo and Shakira.
J-Lo, of course. Oh, Cass, you're not wasting any time either there. Good job, buddy.
No, but I didn't do it all in my mouth.
No, you didn't do it all.
You got it. Oh my gosh.
Starting to hit you?
Yeah, it's
I brought a bottle of water because I like Popeyes gave us a. Would you like some iced tea?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
What? Man,
No,
you're tough.
the water will
Well, yeah, that's coming
on. We also have the regular ghost pepper here as well. These are mine. These are the ones that I'm going to eat if I get it wrong.
Seriously?
No, I'm kidding, buddy.
Well, that's really cooking it now.
Hey?
Yep. It took
What
a
it
little
go-
bit.
You know when you take like a shot of booze after you didn't eat after a while? That's how it feels in my stomach right now. It's like burning
down there.
It's going, oh my gosh.
All right.
This is going to make things real interesting later.
Question number 3.
This one's for you, Gager. You should get this one. McDavid and Draisaitl are 1-2 in points in the NHL. Who is number 3?
Pasternak.
Wrong.
Oh,
That's Cass again.
That's Cass.
Let's take her down again. Isn't it Marchand?
It's Marchand with 39 points. Pasternak is fourth.
Oh,
He's got 38.
that's two triple ghost pepper wings for Cass. You like them, eh? Hey, if you want one while we're not going, you can have a regular ghost pepper Gage.
Oh,
and then.
no.
But thanks again to Popeyes for bringing these out. I'm just sitting over here drinking my tea. I'm living the good life right now. All right, let's go. Cass, you good for a fourth question?
Let's do it.
All right. Question number 4.
All right. Frozen 2 came out this weekend. It was the biggest global debut of any animated film ever. You guys are all dads? What are the names of the Snow
Anna and
Queen
Elsa.
and her sister?
Anna and Elsa.
Correct.
Oh, I knew that.
Gager. You let's even this up at 2 apiece here.
Okay.
All right, there we go. Looks excellent. The worst part is I'm hungry, so I'm gonna have some fries over here too. Thank you to Popeyes for dropping off the fries. All right.
Right. And the last question, this one's another
Wait a second.
softball.
Gager's got a whole
Yeah,
bone in his
yeah.
mouth. Chicken bone, Cass. Like not everything's an innuendo.
With you two?
Well, yeah, kind of. All right.
A lot to talk about. The Edmonton Oilers' third line center spot, and a name that keeps coming up is Mr. Pajot from the Ottawa Senators. He goes by JG Pajot. What does JG stand for?
John
John
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Oh, that was close.
Just to eat a hot wing.
Oh, fine on that one. Oh my God! Look how big this thing is.
Oh.
Pass me a napkin here. Do we have any napkins?
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah, they're here.
Oh, yeah. It's not, I don't want to ruin the table here. This is great. Now, once again, I don't really eat a lot of spicy food, so we'll see how.
It's toasty. It's toasty.
Oh. How are you guys sitting here right now like
I
this?
gotta see it.
It's toasty.
Oh. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's getting hot in there.
Yeah, I'm down to like a healthy tingle at this point.
That's a pretty good kick.
I don't know. I just find it funny.
Healthy tingle.
It's Gage. How you're the expert.
You know what? Hernan, for asking bad questions, probably should eat one.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll eat.
Actually,
Yeah.
they weren't bad questions. I was just
They were
saying
really
that.
good.
I was just saying that to make you eat one.
Man, you know what? Those are really good.
They are
Hey,
really good.
They are good.
It's
Yeah.
actually, you know what? It's right at that point where it's just like it's burning hot, but it still gets some nice taste out of it.
Yeah.
So
I went to a chicken place in town here, and I tried their. I don't know what it's called. It's like we're not responsible or something like that, and that was unbearable.
Really?
Like, yeah, I couldn't.
No, this is really good. I mean, there's a lot of kick here.
Yeah.
Hernan, you okay over there?
Oh yeah,
Hernan's choking in the background.
they're good.
Do you have any more questions or no?
That's it for today.
There we go.
Who won that one? Who ate the most?
Well, both the boys had 2 and I had 1.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm glad I only had to have 1. Well, I'm going to eat more too. But. All right. So the Toronto Maple Leafs have won 2 in a row since they made the coaching change. It's a bump that everybody talks about. What do you think, Cass?
let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
You give a coach a first star in a game. You jeopardize my NHL record, potential NHL record.
Look, there's no way that the NHL or this podcast will recognize that garbage first star for Sheldon Keefe.
How can you give a guy like he's a coach? First star of the game.
Because it's the Toronto Maple
Oh
Leafs,
my
man.
gosh!
Where was the
give me a
game?
break.
It wasn't actually at the. They were on the road.
No, they were on
weren't
the road, but it was a home broadcast. Like it would have been.
Oh.
Man, these are pretty hot.
But give me a break. Like, well, I mean,
That's
A,
ridiculous.
Toronto's winning the cup.
They are now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Haven't you seen?
What's that?
They're winning the cup. They won 2 in a row.
Yeah, they're lighting it up now.
They're winning the cup.
I can't believe how bitter you are about Sheldon Keefe being named
Well,
first star.
if it takes away an NHL record, like the coach, come on. He's not a
We have to contact somebody about that too.
I know we
'Cause
do.
I would like to know.
I tweeted about it, but everyone just tweeted me pictures of Sheldon Keefe winning first star, and I was like, crap, I lost it before I even knew if I had it.
No, you had to at least touch the ice one bit. I think your record.
As a
It's
player, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's intact.
Your
man.
record is still a thing, man. And
If it is indeed a record, we don't know yet.
how would it not be a record?
I don't know. Maybe someone played 1:15 and had it. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, how ridiculous would that be? It was ridiculous that you got it.
I know.
How ridiculous would it be if somebody else got it a little bit quicker? That'd be nuts. Okay, so the story out of Toronto is this. I was reading this today, and Mike Babcock gets canned. We obviously talked about Mike Commodore talking shit about him on Twitter. Who was it? Mark Fraser came out.
Yeah.
Was tweeting about it as well. And then the story that comes out from The Athletic, I believe. No, it was what was it? The Toronto Sun had it, and The Athletic confirmed that it was Marner. So when Mitch Marner was a rookie, Mike Babcock asked him to put together a list of the players on the team that work, the hardest workers down to the non-hardest workers. And Marner, being a rookie, his NHL head coach, a legend, and Mike Babcock asks you this, so you don't want to disappoint him. So Marner put together the list, and then Babcock told the guys at the bottom of the list that Marner put him on the bottom of the list for the least hardest workers on the team. Like, what are you? What?
That's horrible.
What are you doing? What are you trying to accomplish if you're Mike Babcock there? That makes no sense.
I do not know. Well, what you're trying to accomplish is you're trying to shame those players into working harder. But the thing
By
is,
using a rookie to do it, like
yeah, it's horrible. And it's like you already know that. Like if you're the coach, you already know that. You know who those bottom workers are. Yeah. Like it's not like anything new was going to be revealed in that.
it's just a straight up prick move, man.
It's a huge prick move. Or at least even then, because even if you don't attach Marner's name to it, and you say one of your teammates rated you as the least hardworking guy on the team, you instantly create division within the dressing room. Like, what are you doing?
It's completely ruins
Bro,
anything you're
bad.
trying to
That's
establish in the room. I don't see any benefit of a coach doing that to someone, especially a rookie and stuff. It makes
no sense.
Yeah, he's jump how high at that point, right? And yeah, that's a weird kind of power trip.
It's an egotistical power move.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
I wonder if we're going to start hearing way more stories now that all this stuff is coming out.
That's what I was kind of thinking
It's like
too.
a poor man's. No, I won't say.
Like one story comes, then another story, and another story, and all of a sudden. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, Cass, if you hear this story, right? No, we obviously know some guys don't like it. But you hear this story, making a rookie put together a list of hardest workers, blah, 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 then sewering the rookie to his teammates. Do you think this delays Babcock's return to the National Hockey? Like, if you're an organization,
it's a young players league.
Yeah,
so
like
what you think you have a first round draft pick coming in, or a marquee player, young guy, rookie. You think he's gonna want? He hears that now and he's like, "Oh crap,
yeah.
Babcock's my coach. What if I get asked to do that?"
Yeah, I guess it depends on the GM, right? If it's a kind of an older school GM, maybe he thinks.
But you think that GM just wants to let him go about his business, like?
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It seems Bush.
I wonder I wish we could get Holland and actually have him talk about Babcock in Detroit and what it was actually like working with him, if he enjoyed it.
But do you think Holland had the reins? Because he seems to me like he lets his coaches go, but he also seems to me like if he thought the coach was going sideways, he's going to sit him down and have conversations. And he's got enough sway or clout that he's going to get his mission accomplished.
Yeah, probably at the start of Babcock's career in Detroit, maybe he kept him under his. But after the success of the Red Wings, he probably that head got bigger and bigger and bigger, and try and deal with that ego. I don't know. That's got to be tough.
What about from the player's perspective when Babcock goes and says, "Hey, so Mitch has you at the bottom of the list." What do you think those guys think about Babcock in that moment? Like, to me, wouldn't that be an ultimate no respect?
Yeah.
No respect.
Yeah.
Like, that alone. I mean, how are you supposed to really want to play for that guy?
You don't.
That makes no sense to me at all. It's strange. He obviously had Shanahan completely fooled. Hey, because that was Shanahan's guy. He wasn't Dubas's guy, right?
No,
So Shanahan, probably feels better that he's not there anymore. But
well, did Shanahan have him as a coach too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had him in Detroit.
Yeah, he would have been in Detroit for a while.
So maybe they got along, right? So
I've tried the regular ghost pepper wings now.
You want to fire me a regular?
They're really good. They're really good. There you go.
I'll try a regular.
Yeah, no, it's pretty solid. It's good. Okay, so a couple. Bortuzzo got 4 games for cross-check. First one put Arvidsson just under the bar. Then Arvidsson kind of turned around, and he gave him another good one right to the back while he was down on the ice. You're fired up in moments. I get it. But the cross-check to the back always just seems like such a coward bitch
the
move.
first one didn't look that bad. Like,
no,
it looked
that
like
happens, right?
It looked like Arvidsson kind of dove a little bit. Like, I don't think he got hit that hard. But the second one, that's a vicious cross-check, especially with these sticks. Like,
he got him right in the ribs too.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Well, he's out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
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 So what? He break a rib?
I think.
I would assume based on where it was, that would make the.
Yeah, so he's out 4 to 6
sense.
weeks.
Yeah,
so
that's,
Bortuzzo got 4 games.
Yeah, it looks really bad based on his priors too.
Yeah,
because
he's had trouble before
with
right?
the cross checking.
Yeah,
if you watched the NHL's disciplinary video when they talked about it, they showed a couple of the clips from him doing it before, and he's a repeat offender. So
that's why he gets the 4 games.
That's why he gets the 4
Kerfoot
games.
got 2 games for a board right from behind.
Yeah,
and I hate those plays too.
Those are bad too. Those are actually probably worse in my mind because at least with this cross check, it's like you may break the guy's rib, but you're not.
Is that the worst one? The board 3 feet from the neck?
Like those are the worst.
It has to be.
Those are horrible.
What are you
those
doing?
are bad.
That could end someone's career.
Well,
life.
Career, life.
Yeah, that's going to be the one that really gets the NHL the spotlight.
That's way different than like I cross-checked the guy in the ribs and it broke his ribs.
That
like
one's
I broke
hotter.
his ankle or something. Like those are. I'm not saying those
Which
are good.
one's hotter?
I just hit one that was hot. That's really hot. Sorry, crowd. I'm drooling right now. Oh God.
Whoa. So that one. So you got one that was really. Hang in there. Hang in there, Gager.
Okay.
I was gonna ask you for a cable guy story today.
Oh,
did you have one? The reason I asked this, I was at Grey Cup over the weekend.
Yeah.
And hanging out with a guy who works for TELUS, and he was telling me he showed me a picture of a house that was clearly a straight up hoarder. Like he goes, the guy told me he hadn't been in his basement for 6 months because he couldn't get down there because there's so much stuff in his house. Then he was telling me about he went to a house one time and these people were smoking crack. And he was trying to install like some sort of machine. And he goes, I did the whole thing with my back towards the wall. And before I went into the house, I called my wife and said, if you don't hear from me in 15 minutes, because this is going to be a quick job, call somebody.
Yeah.
So that got me thinking back to you because of your wild and crazy cable days.
Well, yeah, there was a lot. I actually heard a real good story from a cable guy that's still at Shaw. He told me, but one that comes to mind, anytime you start a new job, your first couple years are always kind of the most memorable, just because you don't really have a lot of experience and you don't know what you're doing. But like I found one of the hardest things to do was find out where to go to the bathroom, right? Because you didn't know when you could hit a bathroom, and I never really worked downtown that much. But this time I found myself working downtown and having to go to the bathroom. So I phoned the guy. He was living in a high rise, and so and this is when I first started, so I had a huge tool belt, and it was big and stiff, and I had all the tools. And he finally shows up, and I had a Gatorade bottle, and I pulled that in because I knew I had to go into the electrical room because I knew I had to pee. Like, it was really bad. So he pulls in, and I see him. He waves at me. I go, oh, good. He goes down into the underground. I go to the front door, and there's a lot of people going in, but I'm running with lots of cable stuff and my big belt, and I'm running across the grass to the front door, and I get in there, and everyone's coming in. There's about 6 people in this elevator, and I'm doing the side-to-side dance because I got to pee so bad, and I'm going, God, this building really stinks. Smells like shit. And so I'm going back and forth, and he's on the 29th floor, and I got to pee, and I run in, and I get into the electrical room, and I get ready, and I'm trying to pee in a bottle, and it's kind of not going it's all over the place, and I'm fine, and I'm doing this, and I'm going, God, it stinks in here too. This place is awful. And then I start walking to the door of his place, and I knock on the door, and I'm like, God, I can't stand this building. It's really, and I look down, and I must have stepped in 2 piles of dog shit, and my feet are covered in poop. And he answers the door, and I go, hold this, I'll be right back. And I go back into the same elevator, and because I was doing that side-to-side step, there was shit everywhere. And I was, oh my God, and I get down to the basement, and I look, and there's footprints all the way to the front door of my poop, and I just went outside and took my shoes off, and I rubbed them in the grass, and yeah, but I basically tracked poop all the way through this apartment complex.
But just to clarify, that's the story. But you were pissing in a bottle in the electrical.
I went back and got that out of there. I didn't bring that into the guy's house. There's that door locks. So yeah,
that is.
Yeah, no, it was. There's a few places. The best places to go to the bathroom in town. It's tough to find. I find on the south side, for a number 2, I find the best place is
West Edmonton Mall.
No, what's the rink? 111th by the Y there. Shoot.
Okay. Yeah, Kingsman.
Kinsman.
Yeah,
Kinsman
yeah.
twin.
Yeah, that's a really good bathrooms. Always clean.
I play hockey there on Fridays.
Yeah, no, solid place. You don't get disturbed that much. Sometimes I like Bonnie Doon Mall too, but the one time
all the old people.
Yeah, but I got behind a guy with a walker, and I really had to go. I had to go, and he went right into the same stall that I was trying to get, and I was holding it. I'm doing the side to side thing. Finally, a guy gets out of there. I go in, and the problem with old people is even though I don't know if that's because they can't bend down to see if there's feet, but you know that little gap in between like the door, you can kind of see through, and. So an old guy, he came to the door and he pushed it, and of course it was locked. But then he gave me he went from side to side,
And
like
he's
this
looking at
to look in to see if I was in there. It was really weird, but I would recommend Southgate Mall, Kinsman, and Bonnie Doon Mall if you guys are looking for something.
Yeah, if you're in one of our other cities that listens, you could send in a couple recommendations. We could make sure
Best places to poop.
That'd be
in
great,
your
actually.
city, and we'll make sure to share that on air so that you know where to go.
For example, let's just lay out an example. You're listening in Winnipeg.
Right.
Comment on the Apple Podcast ratings.
Yeah.
Like, give us a rating and then just say, hey, I live in Winnipeg. And
This is
guess
the best
what?
place.
This is the best place
Yeah.
to take a poop.
My
here.
favorite spot.
Yeah, which is okay. There needs to be a
And
podcast
5
for
stars.
that.
Give us 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars. It'll be good. All right, let's get back to hockey here. Sport Clips Haircuts. Keep it or clip it, where it's good to be a guy, home of the MVP experience. And I tell you, my throat is still burning up a little bit with these wings.
Gosh.
I'm
You know what? It's a really good thing I brought up this place is to poop because I passed at least 2 of these places on the way home today. We're going to be firing on all cylinders, I think.
Sport Clip Haircuts. It's 630 Ched, Santa's Anonymous approved drop-off location. So if you want to take part in 630 Ched, Santa's Anonymous, swing by Sport Clips down in Ellerslie Landing. We kind of already talked about this first question, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway again. Strong wording, but this might be where they're at right now. Question number 1. The Oilers are a lock for the playoffs. Keep it or clip it.
keeping it. I think they're going to do it.
You don't think there's any way they get tracked down?
Well, anywhere. I'm going to say they're a lock, but yeah. You know what? I have to pick one side here because there's always what if or worst case scenarios, but I'm going to say they're a lock.
Yep, me too. Keep it. I think...
What a couple of homers.
I think you mentioned even on your show when I was listening this morning, Dusty, the other teams are kind of fading a little bit now.
A few of them are, yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, things could change, but the resolve of the Oilers after a stinker and not stringing those bad back-to-backs and losing 2-3 in a row, yeah, they're going to be in the playoffs. It's going to be a good spring.
Keith Urban, who did the halftime show at Grey Cup, Keith Urban is more attractive than his wife, Nicole Kidman. Keep it or clip it.
You know what? I've been about 3 feet away from him while he was doing a guitar solo.
What? Me
in
too.
Houston playing the minors. He came up and we were at the rodeo and he came up, walked right up the aisle and was right next to us doing that. And I was like, it's a good looking man.
Right? He is.
He's a good looking dude. So, I mean, never
This is
seen
not a
Nicole
shot at
Kidman in
Nicole
person.
Kidman.
No, I've never seen her in person. So I don't know. But Keith Urban is a good looking guy.
So just say keep it.
Just say keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clip it. I don't like a man with neck tattoos. I can't do it.
You're not a bad boy.
No, I don't like it.
All right, Matthew Tkachuk will be the next captain of the Flames. Keep it or clip it.
That's an interesting one.
It is, isn't it? No, it's not anytime soon, but I was just wondering. I asked this question of you guys because he's pretty fiery. So is that the type of guy you want as a captain, or do you just let him do his thing and have somebody else, I don't know who, Monahan, whoever, becomes the next captain?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think you got to clip it. I think Monahan is going to wear the mantle. We all know he doesn't have much personality, but just pretty steady Eddie.
Yeah.
And I think we can tell a story about this, by the way, another time. We have to remember talking about the whole boring Sean Monahan thing.
Yeah.
Got to tell a story about that.
It can't be told right now?
I don't want to tell it right now.
Okay,
I'm going
all
to save that one.
Okay.
I think Tkachuk to me strikes me as a guy that's going to be one of your assistants. Like you want him in that leadership group. He's going to be. He should be. Maybe not the guy wearing the C.
Yeah, clip it. I think Monahan's the next line in succession.
And we're not ripping the current captain.
No.
How
How old is he? It'll happen.
36 now, I think.
Yeah.
Or
It'll probably happen.
he
sooner
turned
One of the
36
Norris is a
this year.
35. So,
Yeah,
so he's
turned
35,
36.
36.
It'll be sooner rather than later.
This is an interesting one. Elias Pettersson is the third best hockey player in Canada right now.
Canada.
Keep it or
Oh,
clip
in Canada.
You keep it. I'm going to keep it. He's a ton of fun. I got, he's probably third.
Like Austin Matthews is having a
Matthews
pretty good
is probably
year.
number 4. I mean, it's arguable. You could put those guys 3, 4 either right way, but just to spite Toronto because they're now winning the cup, I'm gonna say Keep it.
This guy has this Keith first star grudge. It's not going to go away.
It's never going to go away. It will never
gonna be
go
tough.
away.
Matthews is good though.
He is really good.
He's really good.
Yep.
But I don't. Elias he's got a little bit more flash. He does some pretty sick things out there. Not that.
Oh, your team.
I don't.
Pick one.
Get off the fence.
Keep it. Yeah, he is third.
Yeah.
They lost 6. They're whatever.
The Senators could get a first round pick for JG Pajot right now. Keep it or clip it.
Clip it.
You don't think they could get a first for him?
No. Who's gonna give a first for him?
He's got like the most goals in the league this month.
I don't. Think.
Plays center. Plays both ends of the ice pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Has done it
I
with
don't
not
think so.
great wingers.
Yeah.
I think you keep it. I don't think you're getting more than that.
So if you can
Or
get a
much
first, if
more.
you're the Sens, somebody calls you now and says, "We'll give you a first round pick."
If you're the Sens,
Yeah, or do you try to sign him
you-
and keep him because he's a pretty good
well,
guy? Like,
there's what I think they should do and what they probably will do.
yeah.
I think they trade him.
Okay.
Should they trade him? Probably not.
You keep him.
I think I'd keep him, but it would kind of contingent on getting him signed to a deal.
How are the Senators like? Where are they in the playoff race right now? Because they won a bunch.
No, they're still out of it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they won a bunch, but they
They're-
won a bunch.
they're-
They're it's not happening.
They have. Yeah, they're 7th.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
in the
not
Atlantic
happening.
right now.
you don't think so? Okay.
It's nice of you to show support, though, Gage. You're right.
Well, I watched that game. Well, just the highlights of that Tkachuk scoring on the breakaway and stuff, and they said they won a few, and I was like, huh. Maybe he's a building block more than anything. Like have him, Tkachuk, Shabbat.
They're going to draft somebody high again.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, 2-day weekend benders need to stop once you hit 35 years old. What do you think about that? I asked this because I went on one this weekend, and I'm 38. And Sunday afternoon was pretty tough around the house, I'm not going to lie.
Oh yeah. Are you married? Like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. You're right. It depends, I
No,
guess.
even then, grow up. No.
What? You don't think there's a difference between being 38-year-old with 2 kids and a single 38-year-old? That's
No,
a
I'm
different
saying it
life.
doesn't. No, it still doesn't matter.
You have to be
Still doesn't
married.
matter.
No kids and no kids. That's a tough one. Because
No, even if you're not at that age, like you do something more productive with your life. No,
I'm having fun.
2-day benders.
It's just 2 days of fun, at the Grey Cup or something. What about a boys' golf trip to Kelowna, No?
Well, I mean that's different. Like I guess we have to define what you mean by 2-day weekend bender.
I'm saying 2 nights, you're partying hard.
Yeah, I still just no.
You say
that's
grow
me.
up.
I say grow up.
I'm going to have another chicken wing from Popeyes. How's that sound?
I'd love to go on a 2-day bender. I guess I call that the weekend.
All right. The Habs have lost 4 in a row. Is it time to panic in Montreal?
Ooh, it's getting there. It's getting there. Not the time of year because they are. Where do they slid now? A couple spots.
They're still
didn't
in the
they?
playoff spot.
Or
They're
still
wild card right now.
They're wild card spot. Yeah, they were dropping. Yeah, it's time to panic is when you're not in the playoff spot anymore. That's when it's time to panic. So it's on the verge of panicking. But I'm gonna keep it just because it's like you gotta do something here.
Yeah, I think I'm. Yeah, I'm. No, I'm clipping it. I'm clipping it.
It's okay? You
It's
say no
okay.
panic?
Don't panic. I had them to make the playoffs. I think at the beginning of the year too.
You're going another triple ghost?
I'll do one more triple ghost.
Oh, he'll do one more. He'll do one more. Gage or 2. You guys,
Yeah,
man, I don't know how you're doing it. I went down to the regular ghost peppers.
Kinsman, here I come.
The mushroom haircut will one day make a triumphant return, possibly at Sport Clips Haircuts. Keep it or clip it. Just go in and say, hey, the boys were saying that the mushroom cut is very popular again. I would like to get one. And they could do it for you right there.
Keep it, because then I can show my kids how cool I was back in junior high school.
You did have one, hey?
Heck yeah, I had one.
I never had one. I wasn't cool enough.
I had one.
Did you too?
Yeah, curly mushroom. It was good.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, man, you had to have it.
Yeah.
You
No,
had a
it's on the
curly
back.
mushroom cut?
Look at my. You got that picture of my rookie card.
Yeah,
my-
I got your rookie card.
Yeah, that's
Wait, the Portland Winterhawks
Portland
one?
Winterhawks one. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I'm a Sean Terrell on the back of that bad
Gee,
boy.
so Cass, did you dye it blonde as well?
Yep.
No way.
Grade 7.
You went full Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, yeah. No, I had a blonde grade 7, and it was like a red in grade 8. And then I smartened up in grade 9.
Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. I got to see that. Yeah, bring
I'll
in
see
a
if I can
picture.
find-
We
I'll see if
throw
I
it
can
on the
find one,
live
yeah.
stream. That'd be great. All right, the Winnipeg Jets have the best top 6 in Canada. Keep it or clip it. You know who leads the Winnipeg Jets in goals right now? Here's a question for you: who leads the Jets in goals?
Was it Ehlers?
Ehlers?
Oh, damn!
Yeah.
I didn't think either of you guys would get it.
No, yeah. On paper, yeah, keep it.
Best top 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah.
They're pretty well rounded.
I was wondering because I was looking today and I was like, man, the Jets are still doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you look on there and you see Scheifele. Wheeler's only got 14 points. He's like 4th on the team. Laine's almost a point per game. Ehlers has 11 points. Kyle Connor's there. Like those 5 guys, in my opinion, are top 6 in any team in the league. Like those guys are legit top 6 forwards. All
Yeah,
5 of them.
some teams you look at maybe they're 4, 5, and 6. On other teams, they're probably further down the lineup. I
Yeah.
think all those guys could play on the top 2 lines of any team in the league. For
I
sure.
mean, it's close to Toronto. For all my making fun of them
Well,
about
Tavares, Marner, Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews. Like you got it.
Nylander.
Nylander. You have a pretty good top 6 there too.
Might be a little bit of a higher upside with that top 6.
Yeah, I think so.
But I like the 5.
But way more work ethic in Winnipeg,
and yeah.
as evidenced by Marner's sheet.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, according
you know
to Mitch
Matthews was at the bottom of that one. That would be better. Like, what if we had that? Like, what if we actually saw who he put on the sheet? That would be amazing.
You know what I'm curious with? Where do you put yourself?
Oh, at the top.
No. You don't go at the top.
I'm not
You go
saying the very top, but you're in the top
You know,
5.
you put yourself in like the top
Yeah.
third, maybe towards the bottom of it, because it's like always room for improvement type of mindset.
No, but you don't think Babcock goes, oh, so you're not one of the hardest workers on the team.
Well, that's why you put yourself in the top third.
What a jerk move that was.
It's a huge
Oh
trick.
my
move.
Yeah,
gosh.
that's ridiculous. Cass, American Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Yeah.
You're married to an American.
Yeah.
So I was just curious, because we're doing a podcast that day. Will you be bringing in any sort of turkey or
Oh,
stuffing?
should
or
I?
anything like that?
Gobble,
I'm just
gobble.
wondering, like,
Oh
if
no,
you-
I'll do some Thanksgiving. It may, yeah,
maybe
I'll
just some buns, you know, like,
yeah, I'll think of something Thanksgiving.
yeah, to celebrate.
Yeah,
because you're
I'll
married
think
to an
of something
American. so
Thanksgiving. I'll bring in something.
that's nice. of
Yeah, because there's football stuff too, so it's kind of like you could do.
There's
football
lots
thing.
going on.
There's a lot going on.
you. Yeah.
You did promise us a few weeks back some queso.
Hernan, it's queso.
Even I knew it was queso.
It's queso.
And I'm
Hernan.
Spanish, so I don't know why I said it that way. It's queso.
Not even close.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll have to look in. We'll see. Because the thing is, then I have to take it into work in the morning, and because I don't want it'll be too cold to keep everything in the car, so I'll have to.
Oh, but you
I'll
know what? We can
navigate
talk
this.
about logistics. You're not,
Yeah,
ta-
we'll
you're
figure
not
this
taking
Taking the
the whole.
whole day off?
I'll have to think of something. No.
You should get that. You should get the whole day off. to
Yeah,
celebrate with your
I
family.
get half the next day off. It's Black Friday.
Okay, sure. All right, quickly before we go, Christmas movies too soon? Or can we start it?
No, you rock those things.
Okay, well, when do you start that then?
Now.
Like just today? Like
Yesterday.
I just coincidentally asked on the right day to start, or
Oh, yeah. You fire those things up. There's
No.
too many to
I
get
usually
through
wait
now.
till December 1st and I watch Christmas Vacation 5
That's
times.
fair. That's fair. I would say you hit like November 15th, like that halfway point in November. Then you're good.
You know what? The day after American Thanksgiving is always a good day to start.
This
that stuff.
Friday.
Yeah.
That's a good one
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
My-
a good. Yeah.
Yeah. My holiday.
half.
Half.
All right, that's gonna do it for episode. What are we on? 19.
19.
What do we call this one?
Hot wings,
Ghost pepper.
ghost pepper wings.
Ghost pepper. Let's just go ghost pepper.
I was going to go with places to poop, but whatever.
tea bags.
Episode 19. Tea bags.
I was gonna. Well, actually, I thought we was doing ghost pepper, but whatever.
Ghost pepper tea bags.
Ghost pepper tea bags.
Ghost pepper
Episode
tea bag.
19, Ghost Pepper Tea Bags. Thank you very much to Popeyes for hooking us up with the Ghost Pepper Wings. Amazing. Check it out at Popeyes. Odd Shark, our presenting sponsor. Odd Shark, thank you for the mugs. Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers.
guys.
Yeah, thanks for the mugs. That's great. And of course, our friends at Sport Clips Haircuts, home of the MVP experience. We'll be back on Thursday, American Thanksgiving, with episode 20. For Hernan Salas, Matt Cassidy, and Joaquin Gage, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for live streaming. We appreciate it.